From ancient myths to modern mysteries, the ocean has always been a place of fear and fascination. Tales of monstrous creatures lurking beneath the surface echo across cultures and centuries. In part 3 of our Sea Creatures series, we'll reveal 7 of the most mysterious sea monsters, creatures so bizarre, they'll make you question everything you thought you knew about the ocean. The first creature we'll talk about is the giant mutant whale. As we discussed earlier, there are unexplained underwater sounds, like the Julia sound recorded in 1997. Some have fascinated over this phenomenon, suggesting it could be the result of a giant whale, unlike anything we've encountered before. This mutant whale is said to be much larger, potentially up to 165 feet in length. It's believed to emit low-frequency sounds that match the Julia sound, echoing through the depths of the ocean. Some experts propose that the whale could have evolved in isolation, adapting to the extreme pressures of the deep sea. The origin of these sounds was traced back to a remote part of the ocean near the Antarctic plateau, one of the least studied regions on Earth. While the idea of a giant mutant whale remains speculative, the similarity to the Julia beast raises intriguing possibilities. Could a creature like this really exist? With 80% of the ocean still unexplored, it's certainly a possibility worth considering. The next creature on our list is Champ. Champ is said to live in Lake Champlain, a massive freshwater lake stretching between New York, Vermont, and Canada. Long before modern sightings, local Native American tribes spoke of a large serpent-like creature moving beneath the surface. One of the earliest written accounts comes from the early 1600s, when explorer Samuel de Champlain described seeing a strange, large animal in the water. Since then, reports have never really stopped. People who claim to see Champ often describe a creature 20 to 30 feet long, with a long neck, a small head, and dark green or brown skin. Because of that shape, many compare it to the Loch Ness Monster, or even a plesiosaur, the prehistoric marine reptile. From a scientific point of view, Lake Champlain is home to Atlantic sturgeon, fish that can grow over 15 feet long and weigh hundreds of pounds. In poor lighting, or from a distance, they could explain some sightings, but not all of them. Over the last 2 centuries, hundreds of eyewitness reports, along with photos and videos, have kept Champ firmly in public discussion. That's why it's often called America's Nessie. Is Champ real? There's no physical proof yet, but with deep waters, limited visibility, and so many similar descriptions over time, the question still lingers. Could something unknown still be moving beneath that lake? The next creature on our list is the narwhal, often called the unicorn of the sea. This nickname comes from its long, spiraled tusk, which can grow up to 10 feet, a feature that makes it look like something straight out of legend. Narwhals live in the cold Arctic waters near Canada and Greenland, growing up to 16 feet long and weighing up to 3,000 pounds. The tusk you see is actually an elongated canine tooth, which males develop, but scientists are still unsure of its exact purpose. Some think it helps sense changes in water, others suggest it's used to show dominance, or even for echolocation. In the Middle Ages, people thought narwhals were mythical creatures. Their tusks were sold as genuine unicorn horns, often more valuable than gold. These horns adorned royal crowns and were kept as sacred treasures. Today, narwhals are protected, but climate change and industrial activity threaten their habitats. While the narwhal is a real creature, its mythical association remains part of the fascination. It's not a sea monster, but it certainly fits the mold for creatures that blur the lines between fact and folklore. One of the most mysterious creatures to be reported from the waters of North America is Cadborosaurus. First spotted off the coast of British Columbia, Cadborosaurus has appeared in stories shared by fishermen, sailors, and even military personnel for over a century. Descriptions of this creature often paint a picture of a serpent-like body, moving with a wave-like motion, much like the sea serpents of legend. Its head resembling a horse, and its protruding fins make it an even more eerie figure in the depths. Witnesses estimate its size to range from 16 to 50 feet, and it's said to swim just below the surface of the water surrounding Vancouver Island. What's truly fascinating about Cadborosaurus is the longevity of the sightings, stretching from the early 1900s right up to today. Reports claim that remains of the creature have been found, including a 1937 discovery where a dead whale's stomach allegedly contained body parts resembling Cadborosaurus. However, no physical evidence has ever been conclusively linked to this creature, and the mystery remains. Is there truth behind this? While no scientific confirmation has been made, the countless sightings and the unexplored depths of the Pacific Ocean leave the door open for possibilities. Could it still be hiding there, just out of reach? Legends tell of a marine giant that once terrorized the ancient seas. Basilosaurus, a creature so massive and strange, it seemed more myth than reality. Basilosaurus was a snake-like whale with a narrow snout and toothy jaws, growing up to 66 feet in length and weighing in at around 33,000 pounds. Its sharp, conical teeth, up to 3 inches long, were perfect for tearing through flesh, making it a powerful predator of its time. The first remains of Basilosaurus were discovered in 1834 in the USA. But at first, researchers believed it to be a giant marine reptile, and that's why it was named Basilosaurus, meaning king lizard. However, it wasn't until later that scientists realized this beast was an early whale ancestor, an apex predator in the Eocene epoch. Its stomach once contained bones of fish, sharks, and even other whales, proving that Basilosaurus was not only a top predator, but also a fierce competitor in the ancient oceans. Today, complete skeletons are displayed in museums in Washington, Alabama, and Tokyo, while Egypt revealed an entire whale valley filled with hundreds of remains. So did Basilosaurus exist? Absolutely. It's not just a myth, it's a real ancient whale whose fully studied anatomy leaves behind abundant fossil evidence, still inspiring awe in museums worldwide. One of the most legendary creatures to emerge from Maori culture is the Taniwha, a living myth from the waters of New Zealand. Described in various ways, the Taniwha is often portrayed as a serpent-like monster or a creature with a crocodilian appearance and finned, ridged back. Some legends speak of the Taniwha as a protector, guarding rivers and villages, while others tell of it as a vicious force, dragging boats and trespassers beneath the waves. One of the most famous Māori tales speaks of a Taniwha that dug out Wellington Harbor to save a tribe from drought, a story that paints this creature as a life-giver rather than a destroyer. Even today, people living near sea caves and deep ocean trenches still report giant shadows beneath the water, unexplained noises, and mysterious disappearances. Could there be truth to these ancient tales? While science has found no physical evidence of such a creature, it's clear that the Taniwha is not just a myth. In Māori culture, the Taniwha represents the fear, power, and mystery of the ocean. Perhaps something real once inspired these ancient beliefs, leaving behind a living legend in the waters of New Zealand. Finally, we come to the last creature on our list, Cirein-cròin. This mysterious sea serpent is said to grow to the size of 7 whales. But what makes it truly terrifying isn't just its size. It's the way it manipulates its prey. The Cirein-cròin has been known to disguise itself as a harmless fish, swimming peacefully alongside unsuspecting fishermen. But when the hook is set, that's when it reveals itself. In an instant, it transforms into a massive, monstrous creature with glowing eyes and jaws powerful enough to rip a boat in half. What kind of creature plans like this? Is it a mindless monster? Or something much more intelligent, luring its victims with deception? Some even compare the Cirein-cròin to the xenomorph from Alien, a creature that hides in plain sight until it's time to strike. If you're unfamiliar with that comparison, don't worry. We'll make it clear. The Cirein-cròin isn't just folklore. It's a legendary predator, one that waits for you to let your guard down until it's far too late. That wraps up today's dive into the mysterious world of sea creatures. But our journey doesn't stop here. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, make sure to click on the end screen and catch up on the other sea monsters we've uncovered. Trust me, you don't want to miss them. If you enjoyed this exploration, hit like, subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss what comes next. The ocean's secrets won't wait forever, and we're just getting started. See you in the next one.